Hi, we're at the Sheen event with Sola, like the sun. Hi, Sola.
Hi, Brooke.
So, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yes, so I am an artist, entrepreneur. What that means is I sing, dance. I'm about to release my debut single, but I also own a company. I'm a co-founder of an AI company called UMerge. Basically, it helps students find what to do on campus for universities. Right now, we're in the MVP beta testing stages at Purdue University. So it's kind of just me learning as a young entrepreneur what to do, how to learn on planning and running a business while running one of myself for music.
Okay, I love that. So, how long have you been doing that?
I started my entrepreneurial goals, my business about 2 years ago, but in reality, my music I had been doing it about 2 years ago. Actually, yeah, wow, 2 years ago in the summer of 2021, I started writing. Taking it seriously, please. That's what I would say.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, where do you perform at?
So my debut single is gonna be coming out this November by God's grace. By God's grace, for real. It's a lot of process, a lot of work. It's a lot of moving pieces. I'm not signed. I don't have a label behind me, but I do have a community of people helping me get there. So it's really now about just me making sure that I can put all those pieces together, release, and then start, going out there to perform. But I do perform, at my university for ASA events. ASA means African Students Association at Purdue. So I'm usually on stage a lot, but I will be releasing my first single this November.
Okay. Okay. So earlier when we met, you said you were from Nigeria.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, how long have you been here? Or did you grow up? You grew up in Nigeria and came here.
I spent most of my impressionable years here. So I lived here. I moved here about 10 years ago, I would say. So yeah, those are most of my impressionable years. That's why the accent is not that thick anymore. My music doesn't have a strong Afro dynamic. It's more actually mixed. I would say it's more Afro fusion, Afro pop, Afro elevation and consciousness and all that. So
Okay.
it's mixing like black excellence with the African diaspora and how they intercede.
Okay. Do so. So you said you've been here about 10. Do you go back? Do you go and visit, or since you've been here, have you gone back?
No, I have not been back. It's actually so sad. No, you know what? I'm actually gonna be going back by God's grace this year or next year. Have you been?
No,
Both of you?
I want
No,
to go.
I've never been.
It's on my mission board.
What? You have to go.
How much is it to go?
To
How much-
go, I would say put 2K down for the plane ticket.
Okay.
But then for the enjoyments, like 4K at least.
So
At
you need
least.
about 6,000.
Yes.
Per
To do it
person?
right.
To do it right.
To do it right. If
Okay,
you have
so-
kids, I would
so-
say like 6K is good for no, 8K for plane ticket to people. There's no direct flight, or if there is a direct flight, don't do it. Take like
Okay.
go to Dubai or go to like Europe first before
Right,
you.
okay, that's one of the
That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Like do
Yeah.
enjoyment trips on the way, because it's definitely getting to see that like there's so much
Yeah.
outside of America. You know?
Yeah, I'm sick of living here. Like, I need to. Sometimes I feel like I want to move to another country, but I don't know where to start. I'm like, where do I go? And
You-
then obviously, Africa is the first thing that pops up in your mind.
Yeah. You gotta explore first. I always think to myself, I'm 21, and I think to myself like, how am I gonna say that this is where I want to live if I've never seen it before? You know?
Yeah, how do you know what you're missing out on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's when you said that I was interested because there's a lot of Africa that you don't get exposed to. You know what I'm saying? So I was wondering what the kind of the comparisons, if you had any between here and there that were just noticeable, like just popped out at you.
Honestly, we can talk about the bad. We can be like, the roads are not good and the government doesn't care about our citizens, or they do and they, we could do it, but we come here too, and we find that the governments manipulate you in some way, shape, or form. So it's not really about the difference. It's more about like the community. I find that when you find your community, you can be anywhere to do
Right.
that.
Right.
And you can. I don't know, because jollof rice in Nigeria probably tastes different than jollof rice you find in an African restaurant here.
Yeah.
Does that
yeah,
make sense?
Yeah.
But that's
yeah.
just because of the atmosphere and the vibes, and the music is just constant, and you can hear like the street noise, just the energy goes around it. So I can't say that there's a huge difference for sure, but the only differences are not something I want to be sitting here and pointing out.
Right. Right. No, it's fine. That's
They're
fine.
not as positive.
But I do want to go back to the AI thing. though. I'm interested to hear about that. Because AI is, I mean, it's noticeably now. I'm pretty sure people are just catching on, but it's been coming. It's kind of that new wave, right?
Yes.
Artificial intelligence. Like, can you just explain what that actually is?
I'd have to kill you.
So, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest that we were talking about artificial intelligence one day with somebody, and I was like, I said, man, is it truly artificial intelligence, or is it just like pure intelligence? Because when you start talking about when you start talking about programming and coding and stuff like that, there's no bias in that, what I'm saying? So one of the things that we do as humans, I was like, man, we kind of like add a lot of, it gets confusing because, in this situation it's this, and that situation is that, where when it comes to artificial intelligence, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, really, when we talk about artificial intelligence, like we're talking about like kind of like what we should implement almost in its purest form, which is scary because, not scary, but that's what we're kind of like pushing, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I don't want to say making ourselves obsolete, but that's, I think, like when you talk about the superiority, like we it's almost like we won't be able to comprehend, you know what I'm saying,
the
some
knowledge
of the
that
results that it has,
Yeah.
because it's operating
At
in
a
its
higher-
purest form. It's
Yeah.
almost like blue magic. You know what I'm saying?
He said blue magic. I have to check you there for a second, because there is bias actually in AI. So
Okay.
the person, and this also answers your question, because you said you don't think that we could comprehend it. We actually make the AI, like we're the ones who made it. So we are still lord over it, I would say, but in reality, there is bias. Because didn't you see that article where it asked like, is Trump a good president? Like there was an article about how someone asked, is Trump a good president? And the AI literally said, no, he sucks, or something like that. Just very outlandish. And then when you asked about Biden, and it said something good. So they've actually implemented a kind of program that like says, no, this person's good and this person's bad. So it does have bias.
So let me ask this: when it comes to the bias, because is does that happen naturally in AI, or is it just the inputs, like kind of in building the AI up? And one of the things I was saying with it is, when you start having machine learning and all that stuff kind of go, is would it ever be able to like account for that, account for that bias as it continues, kind of like we do as we grow, as we grow and we learn, right?
That would be so bad. If it could account for bias, there would be a World War III where it was just robots and humans existing. That would be bad. If it could account for bias and grow and learn from those biases, it doesn't as of right now. Let's just hope it doesn't ever, because that's what Elon is afraid of at the end of the day.
Well, and that's why I say, and again, I don't know, because we can't comprehend.
Yes.
We have like built-in exceptions
Yes.
that we don't understand, like pure yes and no. Like we operate a lot in the gray.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying, the slim chance
That it does.
that this
and we
thing
don't
is
know.
able to, and you would have to say that there's a possibility because we are in reality, we kind of are able to, we just don't necessarily want to, where there's no emotion or feeling.
Yes.
Like a computer's not going to be like, oh, I don't want to be I don't want to come off, as a bad person, or I don't want to get, and it can almost, and all it takes is like it to do it like one time
And 2 time and 3
for
time,
it
and
to
then start learning.
regulate
Yes,
exponentially.
yes.
I don't know. I don't know.
So our AI, which I'll let you guys try it when you after this. Our AI basically, if you ask it a question that is, you can't cheat on it. It's a school AI, so most people already have tried to put their homework inside and get the answer, because other people from the same school are going to be putting the same question in. And our AI is a no cheating has a no cheating policy, and if it doesn't know the question, it will say I'm sorry, I don't know. But also, if you're asking inappropriate questions that will cause it to have a bias, it will also stop you. So we have that implementation in, but that's because our business is for the school, and so we can't just let it be ChatGPT basically.
Right.
But yeah, I do see that. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. The AI world is still the J curve, which is the curve that shows how early or late
Yeah.
each stage of a startup or an idea is. It's still too unknown for us to understand whether or not we can truly. That's just a possibility I don't think about. That'll do it for you.
Yeah. Hey, look. When they started pushing AI, I was sitting there and I was thinking like, wow, because it's one of those things, especially with us, is when we jump on a trend and it's something new, like we jump on it and we go,
Yeah.
and we're gonna develop the heck out of it, and it's almost like we can almost outsmart ourselves our own.
Yes. It's called doing too much.
Yeah, because we're never content.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So, but
Well, a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
businesses appreciated it because they were able to cut costs with employees and cut time. So they were like a lot of businesses really looked at it differently than just regular people.
Tell your microphone, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I would say that businesses now actually have their own AIs. They in house are building their own AIs for stuff. Just like you said, a lot of businesses were apprehensive at
eliminate-
first. Yeah.
eliminate labor.
Yeah, it
Labor
eliminates a
costs.
lot of jobs. Funny story, I actually was supposed to be working for Deloitte. So I graduated college this May. I had a job set with them at Deloitte as a risk financial analyst, starting this August. And a week before, they called me and they were like, we don't need you anymore. They resent my offer, basically. So,
Man.
it's crazy, but it's like a lot of businesses right now, they don't need people.
No.
But I mean, I'm not going to say they don't need people. They need people. They just don't need certain aspects of analysms and stuff like that, because an AI can do it. An AI can literally give you all the risks, mitigate it for you by telling you what to do, read it into the system. Take solar energy right now. You can tell that solar energy, when it's too hot outside, it'll tell you in the system like, hey, an AI will literally tell you like, hey, like you should probably go check this or that. So a lot of businesses, it's interesting because in 2025 we're gonna see a huge change of what it looks like to operate in a tech world.
Yeah.
Tech verse.
Yeah.
You can
That's
tell
that,
AI to write a whole movie script.
That's
No,
that's
for real.
that's that singularity they talk about. That in we talk about that curve where it's like it's not even a gradual. It's like it's exponentially like coming, and it always trips me out because I'm like, hey guys, like if we see this coming, like why don't we just chill out? But again, it's when you talk about economy and you talk about a business driven world, the ability to cut costs, people are going to take it. And the problem with that is when you start cutting costs, you're starting to put more people in
At risk.
At risk, and it's like, what are people going to do? And
People are going to survive. We're survival of the fittest in this community. Like humans survive. Come on now. Like humans survive. That's never the case. You see, I was supposed to start a job that would have probably taken me, consultancy takes you about 10, 15 hours a day to do, right?
Yeah.
And instead of me doing that, I decided to now focus strictly on my business, find investors, which I did, do my music full time, you know?
Yeah.
So people are going to, survival of the fittest, come on now. The people that do survive are going to survive so exponentially. And the people that don't survive,
Well,
I'm sorry.
I think
No, you're right. You're right. Where it's like I see, it's like man, AI came, and that was that's the picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it doesn't get addressed, like that's inevitable. You know that's just inevitable. And
I think our new generation of children, like they don't know how to survive in the way that we know how to survive.
True that.
So with AI coming in, these children they have it easier and easier with technology. And what I'm fearful of happening is that it's gonna take away their creativity. You know, they're not gonna want to think. They're not gonna want to be creative. They're gonna want to use AI in place of their brain, and that's what I don't want. You know, and that's why children need a space. You know, to learn how to be entrepreneurs at an early age.
man,
A space. I mean, it's up to us as parents and you know as a community to make sure these children have a space to be creative and inspire that for them.
yeah,
I didn't think of it like that.
that's
they
already
wanna
here.
Be YouTubers and make money off of a billion views playing a video game. There's nothing creative about that. You know,
Oh my God,
AI
tell us
is
a Kai.
gonna replace authors, you know, and journalists, and you know, movie directors.
I personally don't, you know, and I know that I don't mean to put your business out there, but you're a mother, you know, so I do see the fear. I'm sure my mother was probably afraid of that for me. But what I think actually is that it's gonna give them the space to be creative, because if they can get their work done faster, they spend more time using their abilities than like doing work. Because personally, I think I spent 9 to 10 years in jail. Oh my God, like I'm being so for real, because my high school, my middle school, we couldn't go outside. So I was in school from like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then I was back there 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. because I did a sport. So and it was not like California or Nigeria where like to go to your other class you have to go outside and see the sun. No, like I was in a building.
In a building.
You could
Not
not
healthy.
leave. That's not healthy. And I honestly am excited to see how AI is going to change that, because if I can get my work done faster and go paint and go to the studio or do something, I wish I had that opportunity. You know, it's just about learning how to use it to your advantage and not letting it work for you. No, the other way around. Let it work for you and not you working for it. You know?
Yeah.
Kids out there, like, you have all the tools, and more tools than I do. They have all the tools to get things done.
Were you hip to when AI first? Yeah, I'm old.
Stop.
When AI started getting big, like Chat GPT and this stuff dropped, and remember they were like, hey, let's put a hold on. Let's kind of put a hold on where this is
Versions, yeah.
at, and you know, let's try to catch up real quick. And I thought it was funny because I was like, man, I think that some of the CEOs and some of the people start seeing that they're starting to see that there's a potential to even kind of make them obsolete.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of freaked them out because, you know, a lot of times, you know, if I have a lot of money, if I'm in CEO of a company, like I'm this, it's this that you're buying, you know what I'm saying, that you're buying. But then, you know, hey man, AI comes out and it's ripping this stuff off like that. Now you're no longer needed, you know what I'm saying, as a CEO, or because now we have a system that's more efficient. And I was just wondering what your opinion on that, like if you kind of had a theory on when they kind of put that, like, was it like a 6 month?
Like,
like, hey, slow down.
I don't know, bro. I gotta be honest. Like, I'm just trying to get my bag. Like, if I can get a buck for my AI, my investors can pay me.
Yeah, yeah.
The universities can pay me. Like, obviously, I want to make it ethical. Like, we have a very ethical branch in our company. We have to make it ethical. We cannot just do it for doing sake.
Right.
But at the same time, the world is moving. You either move with it or you get left behind. Like I said before, it's really easy for us to, like, okay, for instance, Elon Musk, he's paused it for 6 months. All of them came together and paused it for 6 months. They restarted it. They restarted the entire version and creation of it all. I don't know personally all the whole details on it, so I don't want to speak on it.
Right.
But at the same time, you have to move with what the world is doing. I don't personally think like an AI or a robot is gonna wake up tomorrow and like try to kill the world. But I don't know what facilities they've created around the world to do this. Does that make sense? I don't know if like, because I'll check my Twitter or X and and I'll see like
formerly known.
formerly known as Twitter, and I'll see like what are these called? Like robots like in Japan or somewhere shooting things down. I'm like, how are we letting this happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that I don't think that's the part. I think it's just the part about it that not freaks me out, but I just, like, if I was in the room and we were talking, that would be my one question. I would be like, hey guys, I mean, what's the probability that this thing can outpace us? You know what I'm saying? Like, because the arrogance of us as like human beings is like, we feel like, you know, even when we talk about aliens and stuff, like we always feel like
it could
like,
never, but it
even,
could.
But even when they get there, like, yeah, like if they come, like we're gonna outsmart them and win.
Oh,
and it's
no.
like, hey man, like I don't know if you Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's I love him. I love him. If there was one person that could make me feel intelligent, if he came back and he gave me the thumbs up, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? But Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about, he was like the difference in DNA between a chimpanzee and a human, and he said it's only he said it's almost like a 1% difference, if not less than. And he said, and look at the difference between, you know what I'm saying, a human and a chimp. And he said, man, imagine if aliens had a 1%, you know what I'm saying, a 1% intelligence, like a 1% DNA than us. He said, man, we wouldn't even be able to comprehend their simplest thoughts. We wouldn't be able to comprehend their simplest thoughts. Hey.
I'm being for real. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was eye opening. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times we talk and I'd be like, nah, I never consider myself a smart guy. I just say, hey man, if that's how you feel, I'm just Frederick McCarty. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And you know what I'm saying? Because again, we don't know what we know. We don't know what we don't know. And it's always learning. It's always...
It's a rat race.
Yeah.
Eating cheese.
Yeah.
Running from it.
So we're always comparing our knowledge based off our perception of somebody else's.
Yes.
Yeah,
But there's like an all-knowing device out there.
Right.
You know, that's literally what an AI is.
Yeah, and we live in a world where people think they know everything.
Yeah.
It's always that one person that you talk to, and they just think they
I'm trying to do it.
know it all, and they have this attitude.
Yeah.
Myself for right
It's
now,
like,
and then
nah.
just trying to pick it up as I go. Okay.
And now with AI, they're really going to be.
Yes, it's really going to be something that does know everything and everywhere all at once. That's crazy.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
I unfortunately have to run off.
Okay. That's
So where can we find your music?
Yes, so November. Should I put the date? God, November 28th. Okay. It's gonna be out on all platforms. It's called Hustle. It's my first debut single.
okay.
So if this is out before then or after, whichever, just let me know.
Man, I'm gonna try to turn these, like, when I get home, I'm gonna be like,
Period.
but you know, just to get them out, man. This has been a
Yes.
this has been a whole this today has been a good experience. things like this, you know,
Yeah,
have this conversation. Trust me, I'm gonna be thinking about this a little bit when I'm gonna be in the car, like,
Yes. Like, are we ready for this world? Is this world ready for
No.
us?
yeah.
You know, my music video, actually, I'm going to be using a lot of AI, a lot of anime. I'm obsessed with anime. And then I'm also going to be using a lot of metaverse ideas. I got to go to the metaverse to plan it out. So it's going to be very, like, futuristic. That's why, like, I can't talk shit about it. Like, I'm
like it.
literally using it.
I like it.
So be on the checkout for that. I'm super excited. Thank you both so much.
Man, it's
You know,
been a
for
pleasure.
this?
No,
Yes,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
But let me ask this before you leave.
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite anime?
You've probably never seen it, which is gonna be so sad, but like we'll say it. My favorite anime is called Belle.
Okay.
Go look it up.
BLLE or
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna understand why it's my favorite. The moment you watch it.
I think I
You've
may
not
have seen.
seen it.
No, I haven't seen it. I think as you know, as I scroll, I'm new. I'm getting new into it,
Animes.
and I don't watch. I keep saying I don't watch American TV, but I like animes because I feel like the dramas in them are a little bit more positive. So
Get me.
so where the dramas here are like negative, the dramas there are like conflicts with like, you know,
Demons, like things that are actually like. I will play you my song right after this, so that you can hear like why I'm using anime. But a big part of anime, at least, or Korean drama, which is my favorite genre.
Come on, man.
It's just like it's easy love. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh my god, like let's get naked. Like, don't get me wrong, do it. Love to see it for you. But I just like the easy, like, give me the easy drama. Something to. I don't want to watch. What's that movie called? What's that one with the one, and he was like, I put it between my things so that I don't give myself fear. Fear. Oh, what's that one? He had cancer. Do you know what I'm talking about? Ansel Elgort.
Here?
I don't
You know what I'm
know.
talking about? It's the one where like Jennifer Lawrence. No. Guys, come on.
I put it between my fingers.
He put cigarette and he had cancer, and she was like, "Why would you be smoking cigarette?" And then he was like, "I put it between my fingers so it doesn't. When you put the thing between your mouth that does the killing, you take away the power for it to kill you."
You know, I don't know why that sounds familiar.
It
though.
is familiar.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know why that sounds familiar.
Wow.
K drama.
Okay.
Princess Minwan.
Okay.
Yeah, Princess Wiyong.
They're doing a
My
lot
mom
here.
got me in the Korean dramas, man.
Mulan.
Princess Wuyong.
Wuyon. Princess Wuyon.
But I like them. Because again, it's the purity when you start talking about like pure love without like the unnecessary drama, and I like it because there's no compromises. Like
Yes.
it's man, I be sitting there reading the subtitles like.
You read the subtitles?
Yeah, I mean.
You don't dub it?
Nah,
Do you know
not
what
the
dubbing
ones.
is?
I know the ones because that's what a lot of the animes that I watch with like.
Okay.
So I got into it watching My Hero Academia. Like
So good.
so. I got to the point like I didn't even want to watch the last season because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to experience it. And the thing that's crazy about it is it takes me through so many different emotions, man. Like I be sitting there like,
As it should.
yo, man. Like,
I'm over here crying, bro.
yo, man. I'm glad I'm watching this
As
by
it
myself.
should, bro.
I love it. So now I'm watching. Now I'm going back and catching up on One Piece. I watched.
Yes, One Piece. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched. Spy Family was a good one. I wish it would have continued.
You're really in it. Hold up. I'm not as in it as that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I like pretty anime, and
Really?
like
I just think it's like I said, it's just one of those things when you start talking about like developing morals, and I think that, like I said, a lot of the stuff that you intake, you start developing. So there's like a lot of times there's always this conflict, and that's what I was talking about, the drama. There's this conflict, right, where it's me like having the urge to do the wrong, to do something to benefit me, but I have this greater good, and I just always have
you
this,
got it.
this.
You got
this.
it.
And I feel like that's the difference, and I love that.
Yes.
I love that because I relate to it a lot.
And it's, I'm being for real, it's good. That's something that we need to instill back into us as people, that like things don't have to be so hard. Like the movies, the things we watch don't have to be so depressing, because some people already live a really depressing life. They don't want to go through that in the movie.
Well, I was sitting there, I said, man, the only thing that harms humans is humans. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, we relish in it, that we make movies on like harming each other, and that's the difference. Why I stopped. I don't really watch it. I don't really watch it as much, and that's why I've kind of started. I gravitated toward that
Anime.
because it's in life. We always have these choices we have to make. But when you watch this and it creates these options, you tend to gravitate towards that.
Those,
but I've noticed that watching those, I almost find like enjoyment in like that dopamine.
Yes.
When it's like when I do the right thing.
Easy
it's
dopamine.
like,
It's called easy dopamine.
And I tell people, I be like, I tell a lot of people, I say, man, I can't enjoy life the way you can.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Anyways, I don't know how we got here, because I literally said I was about to leave.
I'm sorry, I asked the favorite anime question. I'm sorry.
We got down the rabbit hole. I love anime, so I'm glad we did this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Man, thanks for stopping by. That was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was.
That was a pleasure.
Yes. Have a good day, you guys.